Hello everyone, Alex here, and today we're gonna talk about Blue Beetle. I wasn't planning on making a video about his fusion, if it's worth it or not. Basically the answer is yes, it's worth it. He's an awesome character. At the rank 7, when you unlock him, he will be usable for many months for beginners, and if you do the fusion twice, you get another 60 fragments of his. So then you can get him to rank 8, where he's very usable and he's used everywhere, like Arena, although that's changing a little bit, Elite Arena, main stages, system recovery to some degree. He's awesome, worth it. That's it. But let's showcase him. So we're gonna talk about him, everything about him, his team, his emblem, his gear. I'm gonna show him in action to talk about his skills. So basically what he does is he counters Wonder Woman. So it's his anti-crit, so when the opponents hit your Blue Beetle with a crit, he will give damage reduction to the back row, allowing them to survive. Otherwise, Wonder Woman would kill them with a couple of ultimates. When hit with a critical attack, he also gets more block rate. He can gain 20% crit damage reduction. At rank 10, he gives crit damage reduction to his back row ally up to a maximum of 30%, with every 1% of block that he has. So I think this counts as like 60%. Will give his back row allies 30% a crit damage reduction, which allows them to survive. Otherwise, an ultimate might kill them. An ultimate from Wonder Woman. His advanced attack adds weaken that makes them do less damage and reduces their block break. So it's guaranteed you block. And it also at rank 9, if the target has Frantic, that's a team with Zatanna that goes with Wonder Woman, who would always have, and Wonder Woman has, Red Hood has, that's in the front row more often than Wonder Woman, but also Wonder Woman can be in the front row. It makes them one stack into exhaustion, which will make them deal 50% less damage by the next attack. So this is an ultimate, this can really help. His basic attack hits the target with a high crit rate, so usually Wonder Woman, and he gives himself firm stance, so he blocks. It removes Frantic, so she crits less. His ultimate gives shelter to the back row, which decreases damage taken from the next attack by 50%, so this can protect again against an ultimate. Even Green Arrow is a character that fits that bill, although Green Arrow is not that usable in the end game. Wonder Woman is awesome, but Green Arrow is a character that crits a lot and hits the back row, so he counters them. His emblem, when a back row ally is damaged by crit, he will counter attack, so he will remove Frantics from them and gain firm stance, so he blocks more. And at rank 20, it adds a new debuff of his that whoever is hit that hit the back row and did crit will have more crit rate but less crit damage. So this will also amplify here that when Blue Beetle is hit by critical attack, he gives more damage reduction to the back row, but it also like minus 30% crit damage reduction on a character like Wonder Woman that's already extremely likely to crit. Helps your team survive more. And at rank 30, once per round, Blue Beetle will use his advanced skill for a counter attack. So his advanced skill might also convert a stack of a Frantic to exhaustion. Will add weaken that works with a Ocean Master, and also his emblem gives him defense bonus, HP bonus that helps him survive a lot, block chance, that's not negligible, 9.7%. It helps you build towards like giving back row allies extra crit damage reduction and him blocking and doing all crazy stuff, especially with a Ocean Master in the team. And he also has block amount that the 32.4%, the base block amount is already 20%, so it will block massive amount of damage. Ocean Master again can amplify that, can give him another 50% crit block chance and block amount. So you can make it that he gets very little damage. He's primarily there for his skill, like stopping crits, even without using his ultimate. He's very, very strong. He doesn't really deal damage. He's not super flexible outside of like stopping crits or working, amplifying other characters that do block. But he's a decent tank. You can throw him in the front row. For example, I use him in the Mighty Convergence Crisis. And he's a tank there that survives and does something. So I talk about his emblem. I would definitely rush him to 20, it's very strong. But to 25, okay, you have Wonder Woman that you want to do, you may want to do Batman. There's not too many like mighty characters that you want to upgrade their emblem, although now he has become strong. I don't particularly love like having like a 4% more life steal and how much is it? 2.4% more damage reduction. I think those are not very big numbers. But he's definitely a competitor for that. If you are using him in a arena though, and you have done Wonder Woman to 30, I might consider him at 25. It gives him more block amount, he will be more survivable, and if you use him in every game mode, you will definitely get value out of him. As I've said, his kit works a lot with block, so you want to have 4 pieces of block to give him 15% more block chance. And usually because it's the front row and you want him to be taking more hits, you give him plus 2 HP normally, because this will give me another 3% extra health, give him more survivability. I have done speed because I have this piece as block, so it's better to give him more block here and having a bit less HP than having 3% HP but having like I don't know, 8% less block, if that makes any sense. You can have this HP bonus. I don't think that this a piece like this would be bad on him. I think block would be better, and I didn't have this at level 2. I had something like this at level at 1, the same. So between the equal amount of block chance and HP bonus, I rather have block on the communication device that can be block the first stat, and the 3% HP is not too bad to lose for that. Also don't hate speed at all, because he will be getting more firm stance, so he blocks a bit more often, he will remove a bit more frantics, he will add a bit more weakens that can help work with Ocean Master, can make him converting them to exhaustion can be very strong if you have him at rank 9. So let's talk team. So he's 100% going with Ocean Master. Ocean Master has a team synergy that works with him, that makes a block team. So when your team blocks, they will get a more attack stat. Every one of those the characters that block, so they can get 30% more attack relatively quickly. If you have big blockers like Blue Beetle and Nightwing, that we're gonna talk about in the front row. And when the system synergy is at level 3, when an ally blocks an attack, all allies are healed by 1% of their max HP. So This can add up, especially having like Blue Beetle in the front row that gets firm stand. Nightwing can give it more to him. I have the emblem on him, the artifact on him that we're gonna talk about. That gives him 12% more block chance. So you can really have some healing adding up, like 1% of your character's HP. You can get hit by 5 basics every turn. For your front row tanks, they all get so it's 5% more max HP if they always block. And when you hit by an ultimate that hits everyone, you can block 3 times and heal for another 3%. So this can be awesome. It's more a team build around Ocean Master rather than around Blue Beetle, but Blue Beetle is a character that helps activate that, makes it stronger, and makes the team really win against Wonder Woman. Otherwise, it wouldn't survive as great because he also messes with crit. So you can have your team survive a bit more and have this passive activating, so you gain the max HP, you get the max attack, you get the healing, and yeah, they synergize awesome. Nightwing is another character that will work with him. His ultimate gives his front row allies 2 stacks of firm stand, so himself and the Blue Beetle, because they will be together in the front row. You can also have a very big Nightwing, absorbing most of the damage and being your main tank, and you can afford having a smaller Blue Beetle because of that. The extra block chance on Blue Beetle will be great. And he basically helps activate Ocean Master, so you have more attack chance and healing that can also like help Blue Beetle survive. Let's talk artifacts. So I have this here, gives them 12% block rate, because this I have on Nightwing that's playing a more important role. It's the main tank, and this will give him 4 stacks of firm stand for 2 rounds when he does his ultimate, damage reduction as the main tank, and it heals him when you have this maxed out. You can definitely have this on Blue Beetle, but him being the main tank here, I think it's more important having this on Nightwing. But if you, for whatever reason, happen to have a Blue Beetle at rank 7, have him as a main, and Nightwing smaller, let's say rank 6, or even similar, probably not, you can have this on Blue Beetle, and definitely is great for Blue Beetle, but it's it goes to Nightwing first. So you have this, that's okay. You can also have the Blue Sphere that gives block rate. You can have it on Ocean Master, and you can benefit a bit from that. Also, Ocean Master, like besides the team synergy, he gives block chance and block amount that basically will make a Blue Beetle survive more, and he already has block chance and block amount. It will guarantee a block and will help activate everything. But when another block is an attack, he does a counter attack, and counter attack applies weaken, that they will do less damage and have less block break, so you will be guaranteed to block. At a certain point, you will have many stacks of weaken, and you can use an ultimate with Ocean Master that Blue Beetle is also a character that applies a couple of weakens that can help that, and per stack of weaken the opponents have, it will add stacks of bleed, so you can also deal damage to them and stop their shields, because if you have many stacks of bleed, the opponent will cast way smaller shields, even like 0 shield, if you have many stacks of bleed. But Ocean Master counterattacks when an ally blocks an attack, not when he blocks an attack. So you kinda benefit more having a Blue Beetle doing the block. Also, like, you activate this, is my understanding, even if you don't have 60%, you will have extra 12, so it will give crit damage reduction to the back row. He's basically guaranteed to crit, to block after like having like 53.3 plus 12, and he gets blocked stat extra if he's at low health when Ocean Master does his advanced attack that gives him block chance, 50% block chance and block amount. Even if the opponents have block break, that for example I have on Wonder Woman, I have like 27% block break, you're still very likely to almost certain to block with Blue Beetle, because you can also gain firm stand by his him doing his basic, or by Nightwing doing his ultimate. So I think there are, since you have the other artifact that gives block chance to Nightwing, that's the main tank, and you benefit a lot more having it on Blue Beetle. I think it's a very great use, because you can there are other artifacts like this too that I'm going to talk about that are for tanks, but you can get a bigger value having the other artifacts on other characters, while the artifact that gives block chance, the best character to put it on is Blue Beetle after like Nightwing. Nightwing has a better one. You can put this on a Ocean Master, of course. It's not the bad on Ocean Master by any means. And you can try putting a different artifact on Blue Beetle. For example, Bane's Venom does when the character that has it goes under 25% HP for the first time, they're healed for 20%, then they can recuperate, and if you have it maxed out, it gives them 35 healing instead of 20, and 3 stacks of recuperate instead of 2. I've tried it on Blue Beetle. I almost like just the block chance better on him, because he has block amount and he will survive more, and activate Ocean Master that will heal more reliably. So I think they're very comparable, but Blue Beetle is a lot stronger with that, while this can help many other characters. This can't really. Also, comparing them to the 12% block chance with 20% healing, there are situations where someone will, because okay, you will have a smaller Blue Beetle than the rest of your team, and you go, if you have it as your main team in your first team in main stages, or like against the very big opponents in arena or whatever, there are many instances where Blue Beetle won't drop under 25% and survive. So he needs to drop under 25%, but be alive for this healing to prop. I don't find this 20% healing super impactful there. You also have a healer with them very often, so you don't need it too much. You have almost all the times you have a healer with them, like either Pandora or Kid Flash. Some situations you may have Zatanna, but even that helps with the lifesteal. And you have the Ocean Master System synergy that heals them. So for once you don't need the healing too much. And comparing the 20% heal with 12% block rate, 12% block rate almost has the upper hand there. Maybe with 35 to 12, it will make a difference, like 35% and 3 stacks of recuperate. Blue Beetle is used more than Grodd. Grodd is in a team that some situations you may want him to die quicker, so he revives. not necessarily usually, but it's not necessarily the optimal play for him. But then you can also have this on legs. I've seen many people are using the artifact that I currently have on legs, the Atlantean Helmet. Atlantean Helmet gives HP stat, gives reflex. So when the opponents hit you, they will get 5% of the damage they deal to you. That can be very nice on Blue Beetle. Nightwing already has a passive like that. It doesn't. They don't call it reflect. That's when he blocks, the opponent will take superpower damage. Blue Beetle will add on that. It also has bigger stats, giving to you being an epic artifact. So, like, it's at the size that I have them, like this at 5 and this at 2, they have the same stats. But if you add this at 3, it will have more stats. Well, this is maxed out, and this can go higher, can go up to 5. The reason I'm not doing it is because I have my Blue Beetle doing his ultimate last. So this basically, a big reason you have this on a character rather than Helmet is when you use an ultimate for the first time, it heals for 30% of your max HP and gives 2 stacks of the armor that increases the defense a little bit. Well, it can also cleanse debuffs if you have it bigger. Yeah. So if I had him a little bit bigger, because he does basically 0 damage, so you kind of waste a little bit of an ultimate, and I find that the crit damage reduction that he gives to the back row, and the damage reduction that he gives from this passive, and all the weekends and everything that is going out and having strong characters with them, I don't necessarily need the shelter for my back row to survive. I kind of feel like I waste an ultimate because Blue Beetle is not a big damage dealer, especially if you don't have him very big. Like, it feels like he does very little damage with that, and that's at rank 8. At rank 7, it felt like he did 0 damage. Like, I'd rather cap out on ultimates and have them used, have other characters use their ultimate a little bit faster than using Blue Beetle's ultimate, unless you purposely plan to have like the shelter to survive for your back row. Also, you cannot really always so maybe it won't protect against what you want it to protect. Like, okay, you can have it go off turn 1 and protect against an ultimate of a Wonder Woman, but then you're losing on attack to kill the opponents, or you could use Nightwing ultimate that would stun Wonder Woman and would work better and deal a little bit of damage and have her stunned for like 2-3 turns. I don't find Taylor being the most helping to survive. Maybe someone will hit the back row for whatever reason, some heals too, and they absorb that before someone like Wonder Woman does a massive ultimate. Or someone like Green Arrow may be in the team and will use the ultimate and absorb that, and then Wonder Woman goes and they will have lost their stack of shelter. Or no, they need to be hit by an attack for this to go away. So because I have his ultimate going off last, I feel like he may die many times and not use this or not take massive advantage of that. I definitely seen people use this artifact on Blue Beetle. Maybe if I had him use his ultimate list turn 4, I would try it a bit more. Also, if I like had the chance to put to unlock to upgrade it, so if here I had all those purple available and I had done other ones, and when you bring this to tier 3 talent, it gives you 15% block rate. That could be a massive reason to put it on Blue Beetle, especially if you have him in arena and using him everywhere while you're not using legs so much. So if you're at the point where you have this giving you 15% block chance, then even this going off very late in the match when it might not be super impactful, or even having some matches where you aren't using that, so you're kinda losing on an opportunity of that. Like the 10% stat that this gives, HP bonus, this would give 6, plus the 10% defense that helps you stay alive instead of 6 the other one does, and 15% block, and then it's a 15% damage reduction. And yeah, Blue Beetle being on your main team, while X dying anyways, and he doesn't benefit, he benefits way less by having block on him, then I would consider it, definitely. The same can be said about Bane's Venom, that okay, you can have block chance on 12%, and this can help him. I'm not at the point where I have those maxed out, and I would rather do on Nightwing first, giving him the 12%. But if you're at the point where you try to max those out, it will definitely be more of a consideration to have him like this, even though you don't need the healing as much, and this doing a healing would benefit the Nightwing more. I think I've touched on artifacts enough. I like the blue one giving 12% more block, because not many other characters benefit from that. Those two can really help the characters that have them on more, and many other characters that are more flexible. I maybe want to try this when I bring it to 35 to rank 5 that I'm close to. Doing the healing Ben's Venom instead of 20%, doing 35% healing. May try it on Lex, may try it on Blue Beetle. Maybe it will be best doing it that way afterwards. I want to show his team in action. Also, as I said, you in the block team you want to have a big damage dealer and a support that helps you survive. So you usually will have either like a Kid Flash or a Pandora that does a massive healing, and supplements the Ocean Masters. In some situations you may want to have Zatanna and Wonder Woman with them. Usually you have John Constantine, because John Constantine gives buffs that they will have a Nightwing landing his stun. He has a 60% chance of landing a stun. For each buff he has, it increases the chance by 10%. I've seen some people use a Hal in there. I've seen some people use Deathstroke. Both need to be kind of big to try that. Who else? Some people are trying like, okay, Green Arrow or even Batman. He can be used, I guess, a little bit as a support with them in the back row. So let's try to show them in action. Okay, so let's do the system recovery, because there's no tactical characters. So I'm gonna use them like this. So you see Blue Beetle is taking the hits. He blocks. Flash is getting counterattack. Now he has lower crit chance. And weaken on him, so he did very little damage. We're healing. I kind of forced Blue Beetle in this position just to showcase him. But you see 15, like he does 0 damage now when we're just healing by his attack. Just to showcase him that he can work here. Usually would have a Nightwing as a main tank, but there are situations where you need to have both of your tanks taking hits, not just the main position. So instead of having like a weak link there that would be dying by taking many hits. You have Blue Beetle that can work with Nightwing, can be a second tank that blocks a lot and that it's beefy, that they won't die quickly, so you have all the attacks going into Nightwing. So Nightwing has some breathing room, and you see now he's controlled basically. He doesn't. He has a lower crit damage. He has weaken on him, so he does very little damage. Let's do this. It does very little damage. The ultimate. Yeah. So we have both here having many weaken on them because we have two tanks that block a lot. Now we can add many blitz on them. So we have a lot of breathing room, someone like Wonder Woman to hit them and do massive damage. I'm showing it with Wonder Woman because it's a... You normally would be having Constantine because it's a tricky node that you need to have no tactical characters in your team. That can be a challenge because you have like Constantine, Lex, Zatanna being tactical, Sinestro is tactical, Raven, Gorilla Grodd. So we really have a great team there that Blue Beetle definitely contribute. Let's kill him quickly. He's not a damage dealer, he just sits there, reduces the crit chance of the opponent, blocks, so more stuff happen. But if you have a big Blue Beetle, because he also does some counter attacks, he can actually help a little bit with the damage, especially if you try him in like a Elsword. He's very strong there against someone like Flash that takes many turns. Let's show him in arena. Okay. I think this will be a mirror map. No. Okay, that can be a very nice showcase. I'm a little bit bigger than the opponent. Don't have control about the ultimate order, but just making it, not afterward. So let's see him here. Okay. So we have a Nightwing taking the hits. But Blue Beetle also took the hits like a champ and helped with now he will have less crit damage, hull, and my Wonder Woman is looking very healthy. Otherwise, like a second ultimate will quickly kill her, or some even something like this, like a reinforcement. More things, like there are characters that are contributing more. I'm not saying like Blue Beetle is the boss and does everything, but if he wasn't there, there would be a missing link, that a weakness that this team would lose, could lose because of. So you have Wonder Woman doing a lot of damage. You have a Nightwing being a big tank that takes a lot of hits. But you see, Blue Beetle is doing some counter attacks. He also takes hits very nicely. He protects the back row. Now they have a... Yeah. They took almost very, very little damage because he has less crit damage. He has you have the buff on him, on the first round, I think it's called, where Blue Beetle gave, and you have a breathing room. You see the difference, like, because I have a Blue Beetle, how less damage we are taking, while the opponents don't have him to protect them, and they are taking a lot more damage. So, conclusion. Blue Beetle is not a flashy character that you will gonna throw in every team and he's gonna win or do something that's extremely noticeable. He's more quiet, he counters crit, so if you have him, you can make the block team arena viable. You can make them win against Wonder Woman in Elite Arena extremely consistently. You can push main stages more. He's a nice addition to the team. He's not the main star,